that intro gets better and better, Mike. I like it better and better.
Makes the hair on your neck stand up.
Yes, it does. Welcome, everyone, to another round of Ray's Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Ray Mancini, here with my ace corner man, cut man, Mike Case.
Yeah.
And we've got a very special guest on today. Very special guest. Going to have a lot of fun with this guy. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about this past weekend, first weekend of professional football.
Yep, it's back.
It's back. Anybody watch the Browns game? The first drive, I go, we're going to Super Bowl. We're going. And then from then on, it was like the Titanic hitting iceberg. Ass up, straight down.
Toilet bowl.
Ass up, straight down. 18 penalties. You can't win a flag football game with 18 penalties.
No.
You got the jerk off who's a substitute left tackle, kicking the guy.
In the face.
In the face.
Uh-huh. That's illegal.
Oh, my God.
Can't do that.
And, and Baker Mayfield, hey, look, I like the kid. I think he's a winner. But he got humbled, which everyone needs to get humbled.
Mm-hmm.
That first drive, I said, we're going to the Super Bowl. After that, it was like watching, Brownies the last couple of years.
And as bad as they were, the Steelers were worse.
Oh, 3 points. How can Brownies didn't even got better.
Our guest probably roots for the team the Steelers were playing.
Oh, yes. Our guest does.
I guess.
Our guest does. I'm sure he does. But before we get to him,
okay,
because he's a mouthful, he's gonna take over the.
I know, and that's what
he's
I'm
gonna take
hoping.
over the conversation. We won't be able to get none in on him. But until then, I just want to say. The first weekend of football, we're glad. Anybody see the game last night, right? The doubleheader?
That Saints-Texans game was
Texas,
crazy at the
the
end.
Texans and the Saints game, 58-yard field goal to win it in overtime. That's tremendous. That's why you pay these guys, man. That's why these kickers, they got one job, kick. Nobody hits them all year long, all practice long. Also, you just kick. That's why you get paid the big bucks to make it, because that's the difference between being a playoff team, Super Bowl team, or just an ordinary team. How many bad times? How about the first guy? The Browns score, and we missed the extra point. I go, oh, that ain't good.
That's when it started to go downhill.
That ain't good. And that's when we went ass up, bang, straight down from there on. Oh, God. But and then the Steelers, they stunk out the joint. But, of course,
terrible.
Look, they paid the Patriots.
Who, by the way, Paul, Ray doesn't think Tom Brady's very good.
Yeah, pardon me?
You don't think Tom Brady's very good?
No. Tom Brady's one of the greatest of all time. I don't think he's the greatest. I've said it repeatedly.
Here we go.
Stop it.
No,
Here we go.
you stop
You better
it.
introduce
You
him.
can't. I'm going to get to him. I'm going to get to you.
Well,
Wait a
I
minute.
got to listen to this. Do I have to listen to this? Brady's not the greatest?
No, can't do it. Can't do
matter
it.
with you?
He runs in the greatest system. Let me tell you this. When Joe,
Oh, the greatest system.
Joe
Oh,
Montana.
here
No,
we go.
let me tell you
Here we
something.
go.
Here we
Joe
go.
Montana. Joe
Montana.
Joe Montana, when he went from the 49ers, because he ran in that West Coast system, which Belichick is a disciple of Bill Parcells, who ran, and that's not, they don't run the West Coast system, but what I'm saying is,
Ray,
when
Ray,
Bill, wait a
Ray,
minute,
Ray.
when Belichick,
Let me ask you a question.
Bill,
Hey, Ray,
what?
You got a technical knockout, or you knock the guy out.
You win.
Is it a win?
It's a win,
Is it a
Paul.
win?
It's a win. But let me tell you
You
something.
win?
But Paul, let me tell you, if I'm running a certain offense, but here's the difference between Montana. He went and he gets traded to the Chiefs, and he brings them
Tell
to
me why I
he
gotta
brings them
get
to the
up to
playoffs.
listen to
He
this.
brings them. Now I'm not saying
But you
this
have to
guy's
admit.
great. This guy's great. Keeps himself in shape. I'm not taking anything away from to say he's the greatest. It's like saying Michael Jordan's the greatest. He ain't. How could you come over Wilt? Wilt changed the game. Michael made it global because of the brand. Global, but he didn't change the game.
Fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Styles make
What?
fights.
Our audience is going, who is that big mouth on the other end?
All right, go ahead.
All right, let me introduce him finally.
do it.
Because I cannot, he will not be quiet.
Well, I don't know how long. If you keep up that Brady lingo, I don't know how long I'm going to
He
be on the
said
phone.
Bill Russell
Good
sucks
fighter,
too. He
very-
also said that.
Very good fighter. I say very good fighter.
he might
Very
fight.
good player. Very good player. Hey, I love this guy. He's a winner. There's no doubt. I'm a fan. But to say he's the greatest, you're stretching it there.
Are you talking about me now, or are you still talking about Brady?
You're one of the
Let's talk about Brady.
You're on the Mount Rushmore, Paul.
Tommy, terrific. But I'll tell you what. This is the one thing I will say about the guy. My man wears the goofiest hairstyle, no hairstyle, and he's still a handsome son of a gun.
No,
he wears anything.
I believe I knew you when you wore a mullet.
I was the one.
Hey, I saw your pictures, Paul.
Yeah. My man Paul had the mullet, and I remember when you had hair. So there we go. There we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me get to my next guest.
My wife is making a magic potion. My hair is coming back.
Is she on the phone still?
She's outside in our little beautiful, nicely decorated front. I don't know what you call it, but we bought $1 million.
Call it a porch.
$1,000 worth
Stoop.
of her backyard furniture.
Oh,
that now is in the front yard. It's
Well,
fantastic.
well, let me.
I'm an old Greek, but I'm like an old guinea because I have my big garden. I'm growing tomatoes. I got cucumbers.
There's like 3 Dagos.
There you go.
Yelling at each other.
No, well, let me tell you something. My next guest, I met my next guest in the mid. I moved out to LA in 1985. Paul, I can't remember if I met you before I got out there, when I was visiting, or when I got out there.
Well, I believe that we were at the Tony Bennett concert. They put us together because I think there was a time when they wanted me to play you in a movie.
Oh, that was 1984. Yeah.
Yeah, and Hector, I think Camacho or something was there, and we almost got into a bang-up fight with him because he wanted me to play him in the movie. You guys were fighting over me. I remember that. Go ahead. You can go with the intro.
You both had the same hairstyle at that time, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, but oh man, I met Paul years ago when I first moved to LA, and yeah, they did the TV. CBS did a movie on me, and
who they cast? They had me, and then they went with the white Menegan.
Doug McKeon. Doug McKeon is my brother. Doug,
Irish guy?
Doug played me. They gave him a
Can
brown.
you believe it?
The kid from
they could have had the
Golden
Greek play the Italian,
freak.
but they went with the Irishman to play the Italian.
He played on Golden Pond, man. That was an Academy Award-winning film. See, that's why they had to get the.
I tell you what, that's casting. That's Hollywood casting right there.
And you remember who played my father? Beretta. Robert Blake played my father.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Robert the Animal Blake.
And
he's crazy.
And he didn't want to play, and he didn't want to meet my father because he wanted to portray him as he saw him. Anyway, let me get to know him.
Go ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, my next guest, Paul Carafotes. That's there. Focus.
No, Carafotes.
Got it.
I said Paul Carafotes. I just said Carafotes. Carafotes. Like photos,
right.
as in focus.
Yeah.
Both of
And
us.
out of focus.
Yeah.
But you think there's an arrow
focus. He going to focus. Both of us.
Yeah.
And that's an old
Well,
joke.
you know,
That's an old joke. All
or
vaudeville joke. If you had to stick with me, if you get that, you really are aging yourself. Anyhow.
Paul, thank you.
Great.
Paul,
Thank you for taking
we're really
the time.
going to people said they're going, where's he going with this? Anyhow.
He's going to ask the first hard-hitting question right now, Paul.
Paul, so anyhow.
Well, you want to tell the people, how and what? You want to give them some background?
I'm going to give him some
where I
background.
came from?
But let me tell
Or
you,
you
Paul's
could.
career. But here's the reason why I'm going to have. I tell people I wanted to have Paul on. Paul was in the 80s. He was an actor working all the time. He was a star actor. Good-looking kid. He played in all the right moves.
Good-looking kid.
Yeah. Right now you're handsome.
Handsome
But
son of a gun.
Heartthrob.
One of them heartthrob kids with the mullets going on.
Yeah.
And dark features, handsome son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. And then he did all the right moves. Uh-huh. What other movies, Paul? Tell me all the 80s movies. You were on those 80s movies with the Brat Packers. I know you. That was your boys. And then in the 90s, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, you were working still, but work slowed down because you weren't the ingenue, good-looking young kid.
Ray, I'm going to tell you something.
You've always worked. You've always steadily. I know that.
Yeah. Steady Eddie. Right.
Yeah.
In the 90s, my father passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to
I
hear
was
that.
similar to, we have a kindred spirit because I did a lot. You boxed, really more or less for your father, for his legacy, because you loved your dad so much. Similar situation to me. And when I lost my dad in 92, I lost my heart.
Yeah.
I lost my, almost my will to continue. It took a long time to get that back, but I found it. It comes back after. You never forget those. My father. I had a great relationship with him, And he used to come to the sets and fly out from Boston to hang out with me, as a lot of my family did. But I was very, very, very close with my dad.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, it knocked me out. Right?
I know. I got that. No, I get it, man. And if people don't understand, acting is a profession that you just can't walk. You got to be in the mindset to do it because it's very monotonous. It's a mindset. It's more of a grueling, mentally, emotionally. It's very grueling as opposed to physically in general. But if you ain't got the right state of mind, you're not gonna be able to perform or create.
I started off starring in a movie for 20th Century Fox called Heading for Broadway, where I played a dancer. I saw that.
I saw that.
Right,
I saw that.
Wait,
hold up. I
saw
that. I saw.
did 2 football films. There are pieces of me all over the fields and dance halls across the country.
Yeah, I saw the dance movie. I saw the trailer for that. I went, my man, my man, you were doing the little. You were nice with the moves and your hands.
Spit it out, Ray. Come on, you can spit it.
No, man.
I don't think he wants to insult you.
Moves, Paul.
I think he's trying to say maybe others had more rhythm than you.
No.
Oh,
no,
really?
No. Paul can move.
Oh, he can.
No, it was.
All right.
It was lighting it up. I was just like, wow.
Yeah. No,
but I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But I did not know you could dance like that. Obviously, either you trained as a young kid.
I didn't either, Ray.
What's more you, a football movie or a dance movie?
Oh, football movie, really. I mean, I
did you play sports?
Because it was my first job. I was 20 years old, and when they come to you, I Joanna Merlin, who was my acting coach in New York, I couldn't afford to go to class anymore.
Right.
Okay, so it was $10 a class, 1979. $10 a class. I couldn't afford it. I lost my job. And she called me like 2 weeks later because I hadn't been to class. And she said, why aren't you going to class? I said, I lost my job. I can't afford it. She says, you have talent. I want you to come. Don't worry about it. You show up on Tuesday, and I have something I want to talk to you about. So she gave me a scene to do out of, I think it was Diary of Anne Frank. I did the scene. And after class, she walked me up Broadway because she was at it was the 76th Street Playhouse, I believe. And I was walking with her, and she said to me, do you know that I'm a casting director? I knew it, but I said no, because I had a shot with my commercial agent at the time was hip-pocketing me. They wouldn't sign you until you got something.
Right.
But she suggested to me that here are 3 teachers you need to go study, because at that time, the feedback was always I was a diamond in the rough.
Right.
Diamond in the rough. He needs to work. He needs to do this. He needs to get that and this and the other thing. So she gave me 3 teachers, and one was Joanna Merlin, who was a Broadway actress and a casting director. So I had a little street guile. I said, I'll take let me go with the girl who could maybe get me a job.
Right.
And I studied with her, and as we walked up Broadway, she said, I am casting a movie, and there's a kid from Philly, is one of 4 leads, and I think you're perfect for it. So I'm going to give you the script, and then you're going to go on Monday to meet the director, and you're going to tell the story of Ralph Morelli was the character. So when you go in to meet the director, you become him. You read the script. Don't tell him I gave you the script. I mean, she was in my corner. She gave me all the right things to say, and and I followed direction. I went there. I told the story within the script of Ralph as it was, me. And, they said, can you dance? I said, how high? What do you need? I'll fall off a horse. I'll shave my eyebrows off. What do you want? I'll do whatever you. And so I got the job, and that's how it began. So I spent every day, every waking hour in dance classes.
Yeah.
I work my tush off.
This is live stream radio. You could say ass.
Yeah, we're on the internet. You're good to go.
I worked my ass off.
I
worked your ass off and mine, Ray.
But Paul, that's what I'm saying. You paid the dues, brother. That's and I'm telling you where I'm going with this. And you paid the dues. Now tell me. Now you were doing a lot of big movies. Now in the '90s, your father passed. It took your heart away from the game. When did you come back and start saying, okay, I feel like I can get back into
it?
It
took me a couple of years, but I always kept doing something. I do an episode of, whatever it was. I got a movie of the week with William Shatner up in Canada, like in '93 or something. I forget. And then I met Gandolfini. I went to New York to do I auditioned for a film called The Italian Movie, is where I met Gandolfini. We became best friends.
What was the name of the movie?
Great. It was called The Italian Movie, right?
The Italian movie. No, actually, the Italian. That's the actual name of it. The Italian movie.
Well, it was called something else, but after he hit with The Sopranos,
okay, because that was a jerk-off name, the Italian movie.
Yeah, it was a jerk-off. It was a jerk-off movie.
Jerk-off title. Jerk-off title. The Italian movie. What's it about? It's about the Greeks. Anyhow, no, I mean, I'm just the Italian movie. I'm just saying. So you don't remember the name of it, or was it actually called the Italian movie?
It was called you can look it up. You got IMDb there. You can look it up.
I just thought you couldn't remember the name. It's actually called okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Woo,
yeah. All right, continue on.
It was called something else, but when Jimmy hit, we both had supporting roles in it.
Right.
And of course, The Sopranos, they put his picture on the cover and they sold it. And it was nice for me because I got a nice fat check after that.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I say thank you, Jimmy, once again. It's like it was a nice thing, and we became best friends, and we hung out for many years. And
I
met him. I got sober.
Paul, I met Gandolfini in New York through a mutual friend who knew each other. He was all right. He was cordial. He was all right. Nice guy. And I'm nothing bad to say. I don't know him. I didn't know. I met him. Hi, how you doing? He seemed like he seemed like what's the word? He seemed like he was a private person. He seemed almost bashful.
Very, very, very.
Seemed like he was like very bashful kind of guy.
He wasn't. Well, yeah, he was shy. He was
shy
guy.
Yeah,
big guy,
yeah.
He was very shy,
Yeah.
and he was a sweetheart and a lovely.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
And he had a big heart. He was one of us. He was very generous with his friends. Except when it came to put me on The Sopranos. We had many battles about that, but that's a story for another day.
Was he one of your drinking buddies?
Yeah, we used to drink. We were drinking. In fact, the story, I'll tell you this, quick story. So I get this movie, and I'm living in New York at 107th and Broadway, and I got to take trains and get to Brooklyn. We start shooting in the winter. It was in March of like 92, I think. And my father had just passed away. I go to New York. I was in Boston to look after my mom, and then I said, you know what? Let me go to New York. Let me I was just in a miserable state. So I go to New York. I end up getting this job, and I got to find this place. So low budget movie. I'm coming off Knots Landing now. It was a series regular.
Yeah, you were a series regular for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years, right? So I mean, so I'm not used to this treatment. You find your way to the set. So it's a blizzard. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It is cold, man, and it's whipping. The snow is coming down in different directions. I find a church. I walk in, I open the door, I go down the stairs into the basement. It's very dark, and at the end of the hallway is a light coming through a crack in the door. And it's a children's Sunday school, for kids, like little kids. Mm-hmm. So there's little chairs and little desks, and I push open that door, and sitting in one of these little chairs with a long gray duster on, with his hand wrapped around a bottle of Sambuca, is Jimmy Gandolfini. And he looks at me. I walk up to him, and I grab the bottle from him, and I look down at him. I say, baby, you're the only one that understands me. And I take a swig of that Sambuca, and we were off to the races. So he looked up at me with that crooked smile, and that was it. We hit it off, and we were best pals for a long, long time. Yeah. Well, until he passed away.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. You lived on 107th and Broadway, you say?
That's where I live.
My boys, I got an apartment on 100th and Broadway, the Whitehall.
Oh my God! Well, when I lived there, though, when I was there in the late 70s,
yeah.
It was Spanish Harlem.
Then I went back. Harlem, that's right. Spanish Harlem.
I went back a few, 5 years ago.
It's about 110th now. Spanish Harlem's about 110th now. Yeah.
Right, but I was doing damages in New York, and we shot on this corner of where I lived. And I say it's all redone. It's all been gentrified.
Yeah, it's all gentrified.
That's
exactly
it's a beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah,
when I lived there, I got robbed. I mean, my apartment was broken into. It was a nightmare, man.
Yeah.
But I was young and dumb, and as they say, and I was full of
all that good stuff.
All
that good stuff. Yeah.
Piss and vinegar, and I was out to make it.
Yeah.
Show the world, Ray. I was out to show the world.
No.
Do you know I boxed with Muhammad Ali? Did I ever tell you that story?
No, you boxed with Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, in 1984, I was training. I'd go down to the Joe Louis gym. I don't know if you remember it, on Main Street in Santa Monica.
No. Yeah, no, that was actually the
Joe Louis.
Well, they changed it to no. They Muhammad Ali. They called it Muhammad Ali because he actually had a team. He actually had an amateur team, and I know exactly because right now it's the Mexican joint. It's right where the Mexican joint is now, and Luna's that was actually the Muhammad Ali boxing club. It might have been Joe Louis.
Oh well, when I went in there in '84. It was called the Joe Louis Gym.
Okay, but did they change the name?
So boxed with him. What do you mean boxed with him?
Trainer, and there was this black dude who used to say, "Crocodile, you got the crocodile." Because I hit the bag, he'd say, "Baby, you just nip it. You got to bite the bag, crocodile." So I'm in there punching the bag, and I'm working out, and who comes in? Ali. Everybody rushes to him. He was like a moth to flames, you know. Oh, and I stay at my bag. I'm working out and punching the bag. And where does he come? He comes over to me, and he says to me, "What's a pretty boy like you doing in the gym working out?" I said, "Oh, Muhammad, you're the most prominent figure in the history of sports." And he goes, "Did you call me a nigger?" The white boy called me a nigger. I said, no. I said figure, prominent figure. He goes, "I want him in the ring. I want him in the ring." So, he goes in the ring and he just shadow dances with me and takes a few swipes and gives me a hug. He was great. It was fantastic.
Paul, I told him the last time I was with him, this was right before he started getting real bad. He was, this was like 1996, 97. Buddy of mine, his lawyer and business manager, Rondi Nicola, who still represents him to his death, was running for congressman in Pennsylvania. Ronnie's from Erie, PA, and I got to know him. And so we were traveling around. We did a 4-city tour. Me and Muhammad, and his right hand guy. The photographer, I'll think of his name in a minute. It was me and my nephew, and we took. And at the end of it, it was the last time I got to see him that we actually was able to still talk, and you could still understand him pretty good. And we gave me a hug and a kiss, and he whispered in my ear, "Stay pretty, stay pretty,
stay pretty,
man." Howard Bingham was his right hand guy.
Howard Bingham. That's correct.
That's right.
When you were...
Well, listen, in '84, just so you know, and I was hitting the bag, and he came over. He was talking, and he was fluid, and then he stopped, and he bent over a little bit, and he started to, he didn't look right, but he had these. He would stop. This must have been the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Like his, and he would just kind of drool and be out of it for like 15 or 20 seconds, and then boom, like a light went on. He'd come right back out of it, and it was the beginning. I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea till later. But he was everybody loved him. I mean, it didn't matter. We all loved him.
Well, I said this.
As we love you, Ray.
Oh, of course.
As we love you.
What's not the love? I said, Paul. I said, if you do a Mount Rushmore of cultural icons, you got Elvis Presley. First two people for me, you got to put Elvis Presley and Muhammad Ali. The other two,
okay.
I don't know who else. I mean, maybe Bob Dylan, maybe James
John
Dean,
Lennon,
maybe James
John
Dean.
Lennon, Paul McCartney.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm talking about from American culture. They're more because they're.
Oh,
I mean, pop culture. Pop culture. I'm talking about pop culture.
Frank Sinatra.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
and,
Bob
and,
Dylan.
The Rock.
Maybe Michael Jordan. My son said Michael
Mike,
Jordan.
very good, Mike.
Thank you.
I think Mike's you got to pay him a little bit more money. He came up with a good one there.
Any little bit would be more than I'm making.
It needs you and me both, buddy.
Yeah.
But now, Paul, one reason I wanted to have you on, and I said, first of all, you were talking about Mike was saying one of his favorite shows is Mindhunter. And,
yeah, I want to hear about this. I'm just finding out about this show, and I heard it's a huge
Well, first
hit.
of all, I was telling Mike.
One at a time, fellas.
The star, Holt McCallany, very different. Man.
Oh, he's a buddy of yours.
First thing I did after I was acting, people saw you acting. They never, how it is. Oh, you're the fighter that's acting. You're the fighter that's acting. I said, no. Now, I've done off-Broadway stage. I did an off-Broadway show in 1991, and off in New York. And it was me, Holt McCallany, and Nick Turturro. and the play was three.
Oh, that must have been. Did you have a sign language?
We had
person
subtitles.
in there?
Subtitles.
With the subtitles.
Hey.
Oh my God!
And it was called.
Dora,
the play was called "Sit Down," not sit down. Sit down. SIDDOW. Sit down. Conversations with the mob. It was 3 1-acts, and we each did two of us. We each did 2 of the 3 acts.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best experience of my life. We did it down in the village, and that's where I got to know Holt. And Holt was the one who helped, he helped finance the play.
Great. Hey, listen, he's great. He's not only a tremendous actor, because that's a tough show.
Right.
Mindhunter was like 140 takes every time 5-page scenes from the very beginning.
Wow.
And he just laid it. He's like Mickey Rooney. When I worked with Mickey Rooney once, he just laid it in every time. He was such a consummate professional and a really sweetheart of a guy as well.
Really
we did
is.
Fight Club together. We did Fight Club together.
Oh, that's right. Did Fight Club. That's right. You were in Fight Club too. That's right. And I remember, and all one of these guys who worked. Did a lot of, at that time he was doing stage, but he made his money, as you know, Paul.
Voiceovers.
Commercial.
Yeah.
He did more commercials because he had that great voice. Matter of fact, when my book, The Good Son, went to audio, Holt did voiceover. He's the one who narrates the book.
Oh, that's really cool.
Holt the narrates.
You know what? That's a good idea. Because I was thinking, I have these children's books that I've written called The Adventures of Charlie Bubbles, and I was thinking of you, Ray, but then I started working with Holt.
Yeah, you got that voice.
Maybe I should get Holt to do it.
Of course, you got that. No, yeah, well, believe me, he's done it before. Yeah, tell me about the books. Now you from actor, you're actor,
Director.
entrepreneur, and now you're an author.
Right?
So tell me what made you write the books, and tell me about the books.
Well, the books are, the first. I didn't know I was going to have a series of books. First of all, but my first son, when I have one and only, but when he was born, it changed my life. When my father died, it was one way, and when then Charlie was born, it was the other experience that was uplifting and life-changing experience, as you as a dad knows. So I was with him all the time, day and night, and I used to blow bubbles at him when he was a baby off my tongue, something I got my education in several schools. I was in junior high school and learned how to blow a bubble off my tongue. So I used to do it to him, and he would smile, and he would try to grab his little tiny arms at the bubble. So I'd put him down for a nap, and I'd look out the window of my apartment downtown and say, Charlie Bubbles. And I started thinking about it, and I thought, what would be, if you could blow a bubble big enough to get in and go on these adventures and these rides, what would he be? What kind of boy would he be? Who would he meet? Where would he go? And that's how it started. So my son, his birth was really the kickoff of this. And so it took about 5 years. It took about 5 years to write the first book, and by that time he was old enough to tell me stuff that he didn't like in it or what he did like, and how the motto for Charlie Bubbles is say yes and anything's possible. When you say no, nothing happens.
That's right.
So we got to the second book, and I'm a musician as well. I write music and play guitar and piano and all this stuff. So I said to, he asked me if there was going to be another book, and I couldn't tell him no. So I said, yes, but you're going to help me write it. So the third book is Charlie Bubbles to Fenway, which he's a big baseball player since he was a little boy. He loves the Red Sox. He wants to be a shortstop. So this was the concept for the third book, was a little boy's dream to make it to the big leagues and play with the team that he loves. And that's the story of that book,
Now, are these published or self-published, or you got a publisher?
Yeah, self-published. Yeah, CreateSpace did it. It's at Amazon. You can go, Charlie Bubbles Storybooks. We have a CD now, music. We've got an album of songs that go along, complement the books.
Beautiful.
And it's great for my son because he goes around to schools. We go, sing and play and read. He reads to the children.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful legacy to leave him.
Does
it's something that he can continue? Something that he might be able to continue as he grows. Maybe he'll write a book, and look, anything's possible.
Does the illustration look like him, Paul?
Not really.
No.
In fact, we've been thinking about. There's some pictures in the book. He made some drawings, and there's a picture of the two of us when he was young. He's 12 now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's a musician himself, both he and my daughter, they played the piano. He's definitely into sports. Oh, by the way, Ray, just so you know, that Ray is responsible for me getting married to my wife because she is from where's it, Johnstown? No, Youngstown.
She's a Youngstown
from
girl?
the West.
Well, that's better? That's better?
Youngstown, baby. That's right. Mr. Somerville. Because I ain't from Boston. I'm from Somerville. Somerville, baby. Don't get it wrong.
That's an old Don Rickles joke. I couldn't wait to use it.
Somerville, right next to Charleston, right? Charleston's right next to you guys, right?
Not Charlestown, Charlestown.
Charlestown, that's what I mean. I talk. Paul, I had to fight. But yeah, Charlestown and Somerville. That's it.
Usually,
humanity,
when you meet someone from Youngstown and marry them, you have to end up in Youngstown at some point. A lot of people do.
Well, I love you, but I can't go there. Paul said, I love you, but I can't go there.
Is that right?
No. I mean, I got my mother there now. She's there with my sweet daughters over there. And, of course, we go back and we go, the grandfather's there, Donna, we got the tomatoes. So we have fun. Hey, Ray, we were just back there. We went again. I saw you a year ago when we went.
Yeah, but I get no call, no nothing. Hey, Ray,
maybe now. Maybe now.
But Paul, tell me now. Tell them the story how you met your wife. Tell them how you met your wife.
Oh no, so this is really a beautiful story. Okay?
All right.
So they want to make a movie about Ray. They want me to play him. They go with the Irishman, but that's a story that we'll deal with that later. I'm in Beverly Hills. There's an art opening. Ray was trying to find some culture back then, so they sent them to this place where they paint. And so we go there. I'm there. Ray's there. We're talking, and he says, "Hey, Paul, do me a favor. I got my girlfriend from Youngstown in with her sister. It's her first trip to California, and I like to kind of give them the Hollywood. Maybe you can rust up an actor or two, and we can meet." And I said, "Hey, Ray, I'm a member at the St. James Club up on Sunset.
That's right.
Take the girls, go up there, right? Go up to the St. James, order yourself a drink, and I'll see who I can roust up, and I'll come up there." So I end up. Getting Jimmy Baio, I think was
Jimmy, Jimmy, that's right, not Scott, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, it's Jimmy.
Wait, you had Scott Baio, but you got Jimmy Baio instead?
No, Jimmy Baio.
Yeah, I did the best I could do.
Jimmy, actually,
wow.
Actually, Scott is a friend of mine too, because through a mutual friend from Youngstown who lived there. So Scott's a good guy, but Jimmy was a good guy. I like Jimmy.
This is the Hollywood treat.
Jimmy's funny, very funny kid.
Yeah,
good
actor too. Good actor.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. And so I come up there. He's meeting me up there. I walk into the St. James Club, and there's only sitting the three of them. It's Ray, Tony Ann,
Esther,
and Auntie sitting there. And I go up to them. I say, "Hey, kids, how you doing?" "Great." I noticed that Ray has a bottle of Dom Perignon in front of him. So I said, "Just give me a second." I go up to the box in the mic. I said, "Hey, Mike, did he put that on my tab?" And he sure did.
Damn right.
Well, I'm going to straighten out. I said, "Hang on, because it's going to get hot up here. I'm going to straighten this son of a bitch."
That keeps the streak alive. He hasn't paid for a drink since '74.
Well, he's got another great story, about like I always wondered how he stayed away from gambling. And he goes, "Are you kidding me? Gambling? I'd lose my mind if I lost $5." And I said, "I heard it was $250."
When I lose $5, I get sick to my stomach. I used to get sick to my true, because I said that's my blood money, not figuratively, literally. I said, "Man,
all right, so I'm up there. We're up there at the St. James Club. We see Jimmy comes in. We sit down. I hit it off with Tony Ann. She was like 17 years old. She was too young.
She had baby teeth, for crying out loud. Baby teeth. Go ahead.
She had baby teeth.
Yeah, baby teeth.
So we were very charming and funny, and Ray got pissed off because he became the third wheel.
Yeah, charming and funny. Leave that up to me. You weren't that charming. Go ahead.
He does hate that.
So they got to go. They got to go now because Ray wants to leave. He's upset. Nobody's paying attention to him.
That's it. Nobody's paying attention.
So I walk into the car. She gives me her phone number. It's, area code, whatever, 612 or something.
216. 216.
216. 216. So I used to, like, if I got an 818 number from a girl, I used to throw it away. You know, you go, like, it's like out in the valley. Forget it.
I ain't going to the valley. That's
216 in Ohio. I'm going, oh, yeah. When's the next time I'm going to get to Ohio? So I kissed her on her forehead, and I say, it's really great to meet you. And she gets in the car with her sister and Ray. Ray's, you know, pissed off. He speeds off down Sunset Boulevard, never to be seen again. 30 years later, they're here visiting, and the girls, my soon wife-to-be, they're at Carmine's, too, and over there in West Hollywood.
That's right.
And they're reminiscing about their first trip. And her stepdaughter said, what's this guy's name? And she goes, Paul Carafotes. She looks me up on the internet, and she finds my picture. She goes, is this him? And they say, yes. And they say, she then sends me a message through Facebook. And she says, you remember a night with Ray Boom Boom Mancini 30 years ago at the St. James Club? And I write back, I most certainly do. and so that was the beginning. So I said, well, you know, give me your phone number, or she called me, or whatever happened. We were on the phone for 5 hours that night. Then she was afraid to meet me, so we met finally in Hollywood on Monday, like 2 days later, up at House of Pies.
Oh, House of Pies, yes. So that was a good joint, too.
Yeah. We went to House of Pies.
That sounds so made up.
Tea, and I wouldn't let her go. I said, you got away from me. Oh, because we met one other time. She finally came to Hollywood in between that and was an actress herself.
Yeah.
And I was doing a commercial, and she was working on the commercial. And she came up to me, and she asked me that time. So this was the third time that I've run into her, and I knew as soon as I saw her, she's just a glow. She's a wonderful, positive, beautiful, you know, Italian woman from Youngstown. You know, probably the best thing that's ever come out of Youngstown.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm sorry, Ed O'Neill.
But Paul, you know what you just described your wife? That's the way most people describe Mike.
I have a glow. I don't sweat. I don't sweat. I just glow.
But no,
you don't sweat. That's funny because I don't sweat.
See?
But nah.
Anyway, so that's what happened. So I was at the House of Pies, and you know, it was very sweet.
Yeah.
And within I think was the, you know, it's been, you know, we got married actually in March. But that was 2.5 years ago in March when we sat down at the House of Pies.
Congratulations.
Yeah, how about that?
And now we've joined our family. She has a beautiful daughter, Gianna. Yeah. And my son, Charlie. And they get along great. They're 12 and 11.
You know,
and Lord knows what's going to happen to those two, you know, 13 and 12 or 14 and 13 roll around. We're not looking forward to that, but we're going to do the best we can.
Well, you know, Paul, that was one reason, again, I wanted to have you on is for a couple reasons. One, we've been friends for a long time. I wanted to just catch up with the old times, how we met. But the career, you know, the rise and, you know, the hills and valleys of the entertainment business, as you know. And
it's very hard.
You have a blended family. I have a blended family now. I went for the daily double, and you know, she got 3, I got 3, and together we're the Brady Bunch, you know. But
oh my goodness!
But you know, but our kids are older.
You're a blessed man, right?
Yeah, I am. But our kids are older. They're all out of the house, so you know, nobody's at home. But you know, last week we had a young lady that Mike knows. Mike worked with her sister. She lives in L.A. She's originally from Western PA, but she's a social blogger, social influencer. But because of her, and she's a very pretty girl, very sweet girl, but because she got this movie, and now she's working, and she's, you know what? I saw her reel, not a bad actress, pretty good. But what I'm saying is, it's the difference of the game. The game's changed. You could be a social influencer. You could be on YouTube. You could be on social media, and people go, "Oh, we got to have that person in a movie, or we got to at least see that person. At least see that person." And then you went for the years, you know, when you used to have to go in and audition. Auditions now, everything's online, right? Now I
used to listen. You know what? You know, in the days when I came up, you went and met people.
That's how I got my agent. I met him. I met with them.
You sit across the table. Yeah. You talk to them. You get a sense about them. They get a sense about you. You can, you know, in a room, you can change people's minds.
That's right.
The tape just comes out, and I can tell you because I've directed, and it's just too many people. So you got to fast forward. You're looking at faces. You don't even watch them. You're just looking at a face, and you will stop, pause at a face, and then keep going. So, you know, the business is so much more difficult today. And this social media was supposed to be, I remember, when it started to really affect Hollywood, because I was told, oh, it's going to be great because they're going to have more time to meet you. They're going to have more time to have lunch and sit around and convince. No, it's gone the opposite way.
That's right.
They have less time.
Well,
that social media is like a drug, dude. It's like taking over people's lives.
You know, my son
You
Leonardo's
got kids?
my son Leonardo's an actor. He studied 4 years at the Ruskin School of Theater. He's been up on, he's been on stage. He's been up for awards on stage, and he moved to New York. He just did an off-Broadway show there, and he still can't get an agent because he did like I said, he did a movie, an independent movie for no money about a little over a year ago, and they're trying to
welcome to the club.
Right, no, but they're still trying to find money for post, so it won't even come out yet. It's discouraging as hell, as you know.
Ray,
they won't even meet
money. You got all that money you saved.
Yeah.
Why don't you put out some
Yeah.
cash and let the kid finish his movie?
Yeah, so why not?
Right.
Paul, you know what? And actually, I called my first agent, Jeff Witches, who was at William Morris at the time, who's now the vice president of APA. And he says, so I said, Jeff, he said, well, has he got any tape? I said, Jeff, just meet him, for crying out loud. All right, man, Cini, because for you, I'll meet him. So we met my son, and that's before he even did the film. He said, talked to him, and he said, you got any film on yourself? He goes, no, I ain't got no. He says, well, we need people who got film. He said, well, I've done stage. I come from stage. They say, well, there's not really a stage town. And he says, yeah, I understand that. They go, well, once you get something, come back and we'll. He said, how can I get anything if you don't give me a shot to get up at the plate? Which is the old story, right? If you don't, it's the chicken and the egg. I can't get up to get any film on myself because you don't get me up for auditions because all I got been on stage yet so I can't audition. How am I going to get any tape?
Listen, Ray, let me tell you this. When I started out, 1977, I went to New York. In 1979, I got my first movie. I was there 18 months. It doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't happen that way. My kids say it. My kids go, "You made it, Dad," and I go, "You cannot look at me." Most people in this business spend 10 to 15 years,
before they give an overnight success. Right.
Trying to break off a crumb for themselves and try to get to know this one or that one. This is a nepotism. It's a family business.
That's right.
Let's face it. It's like, and I knew no one. I mean, Gandolfini, he didn't know anybody. Very few guys get to that level just because of their talent or their look.
Right.
All right. Or being in the right place. There's so much luck involved.
Oh, of course.
But I remember my agent saying to me that, we can't sign you. There's no tape on you. You got to get a job. You got to get in the union. And I said, well, how do I get in the union? You got to get a job. How do I get an agent? You got to get tape. Well, how does it happen? I can't. If I don't have a union card, how do I get an audition?
Right. That's right.
How do And the fact that you have to navigate through all of
that, right? That's the grind. That's the grind.
It's a tremendous feat that anything gets done, and your son will find his way.
Oh, he will. No,
he's got you.
He's done it the right way.
He's got you. You've got a lot of experience, Ray. You know how it works. And so, he's gonna take a little time here and there, but he'll get a shot. He's a good-looking kid. He's talented.
But he's got to go. One thing I said, Paul, he's going to be a star, not because he's my son, because he's done it the right way. He comes from the world of stage. He's studied. He's prepared. And I always tell people, we've talked about it many times on the show. There's many definitions of success. The one I like is when preparation meets opportunity. That's success.
Correct. Very good.
And he's done it. So he'll get his opportunity. He knows it, but it's the grind. It's the grind. And he's doing everything.
Listen, I'm still grinding. I'm still doing it.
Of course.
I just did 2 episodes of Mindhunter. I think I'm coming to. Where's the town I'm coming to? Youngstown. Aren't I coming in to make a movie with you?
Very possible.
Talking.
Very possible.
Now we're talking.
Very possible. Very close for their future. We're very close. Very
so
different.
It's all relationships.
It is, of course.
You be nice to everybody. You be nice to everybody. You just, however they treat you, yes sir, no sir. What can I do? How can I be of service? That's the job.
Does it bother you, Paul, as a classically trained actor, a guy that went to school for acting, that some of these folks are just making it and they don't have that kind of training and they're getting the jobs?
No, because when I got my first movie, it pissed a lot of people off because I just had, I was just only in New York I was studying acting at Herbert Berghoff's studio, HP downtown.
HP, that's
and
right.
And then I went over. I had Uta Hagen over there who threw me out of her class. I mean, I was just a little bit off. You know what I mean? My energy, the way I handled myself. I tried to be as nice to everybody as I possibly could. I was, you're using charm, street, sense. You're hustling, dude. And and people that got it, they got it. I mean, people said to me after I got my first movie, "Oh, you got that just because you had energy." And I'd say, "Really? Don't you have any energy?" Like, what kind of, people say all kinds of things.
That's right.
Things happen. People get lucky. You're at the right time. And how many people, Ray probably can attest to this, somebody that's not even an actor. They're in haberdashery. A producer walks in. They're at lunch. They just fired somebody. They need somebody. They walk in. There's my wife, Tony Ann, standing there. Beautiful little blonde, gorgeous little creature. And she's charming and she smiles. She's got $1 million smile. And they're talking and they're arguing. They look over and they go, "Let's just get her. Can you act, honey? You're a haberdasher? That's okay. We'll make you an actor." Boom. And they take you and that's how it happens. I mean, that's how it happens to some people, and it happens by other people to have another avenue where they're classically trained and they do little parts. I mean, Ed O'Neill, look what happened to that guy. He was a football player.
And but Eddie trained. Eddie trained. He trained. He came to New York, trained, worked his ass off, and and I tell people, man, Eddie's actually classically trained. He could do English. He could do Shakespeare. You close your eyes, you'd think he's from the Royal Shakespearean Theater. He's that good.
I know. Look, I saw him on Broadway in 1978.
Yeah. Well, as I said, when he went
he
with
was
Danny,
on his way.
Yeah.
I could tell he was a star.
When he worked with Danny, as I said, I was training in the gym, and Danny was training for Knockout on Broadway at the Gleason's gym, and that's why I saw Danny Jr. He said, "Oh," he said, "Well, I'm here with my father," because Ricky had told me his father was an actor. He had done some, had some TV roles at that time, and he was in there and he was doing Knockout, and then found out later he was doing it with Eddie. So it just goes, it shows you, it goes to show you.
Did you, hey Paul, when you were doing all the right moves, speaking of people you could kind of tell was on their way, was there a sense at that time that Tom Cruise would be one of the biggest actors on the planet?
No, didn't think so. I thought that Tom was, he was hardworking, wanted to, have everybody play the characters night and day. He'd have these little things up in his room, we'd have these little sort of ongoing impromptu, making up this world in which we sort of, were cast into.
Right.
But, he had done Risky Business just before All the Right Moves.
Right.
Oh, he did. I didn't realize
But
that.
it wasn't out yet, right?
It wasn't not out, but he had to go back, like, during the shooting of that to do pickups or something. And they must have showed the movie to him because when he came back, he knew.
He knew he was going to be great?
he knew. He saw the movie and he could see that he's going to be a star. There was no doubt. I would say that he was very hardworking, very, very focused and very intense. That's what I would say about Tom when I worked with him. He was, he was, he definitely wanted to be a star. I mean, we would see, they would screen the dailies in a bar basement or something because we were in Johnstown, another town.
Right.
Yeah.
Not Youngstown. We shot that in Johnstown,
Not far.
Pennsylvania.
No, not far. Right.
No, not far. Right. And they kept taking me outside and showing me the claim to fame there was the flood. So everybody would take me out and say, "See the line there on top of the building? That's where the flood went to. That's where the flood went to." And I say,
Very
"What do we
proud.
do for fun around here? What do we do for fun around here?" And Tom and I stole a police car one night.
Go on.
Oh yeah, Chris Penn was on that movie too.
That's right.
Chris who?
Chris Penn.
Chris,
Sean
Chris,
Penn.
yeah,
Chris would fall asleep during the take.
I got to be good friends with Chris. I got to be good friends with him.
You wake up in my bed.
And you know what, Paul? He wanted to be a tough guy so bad. And not
He wanted
wasn't-
a box.
He wanted a
He wanted
box.
a box.
Then he wanted to do MMA. He was working out with out in the Valley. What's his name? The kicker.
Yeah, Bobby.
No,
what's
no.
his name?
Benny the Jet. He was working out with Benny the Jet.
Yeah, he would come to Shay J's in Santa Monica with him all the time.
Yeah,
but
he wanted to be a tough guy, and I mean, he was a tough guy. Don't get me wrong, he was a tough kid. I mean, he was. He was.
The Gooses. He was always
Joe.
out
Yeah,
because he brought me,
Joe Goosen and Danny. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He'd bring me out there, like
yeah,
he'd be up
10
all
Goose
night
boxing.
partying,
Joe's my
he
guy.
wanted to go like work out.
Yeah, Danny and
said,
Joe.
Chris,
good
you need to sleep. You need to sleep. Then we eat. Then we work out.
But Chris, when I used to run into him over there on at what was
Shay J's? Did you come down there?
Shay J, that's right. On over there on Ocean Avenue.
Ocean Avenue, right?
And he'd eat that steak like it was like going. I mean, he was eating like he was going electric chair. He just,
he was an animal.
He was an animal. But he could act. He was a hell of an actor. Good guy.
I thought he was better than, I used to always think that he had something else. Like Sean is a terrific actor, of course, everybody knows. Yeah. But I thought he had another dimension that he added. He had a lot more raw. He was like raw.
Right, it was raw. Yeah.
He gave you everything. Like he bled on you. I always thought that he was going to be like a Gandolfini, really, kind of like what Jimmy was. Chris was. And he was a good kid. Yeah, he was really soft heart. He loved my dad.
Right.
My dad taught him how to play cards during All the Right Moves. He'd come down, and him and at the time Leah Thompson was going out with what's the kid's Jesus, I can't remember his name. The brothers, Randy Quaid. No, so it's Dennis Quaid.
Oh, Dennis.
So he was dating Dennis Quaid at the time, and he would come in on the weekends. And what's her name, too, that Tom was going out with, who was in Risky Business with him, Rebecca DeMonet. They would come in. We have these big card games. It was a lot of fun. We'd play quarters. Everybody be getting drunk, playing cards. My father was trying to teach Chris, how to play cards. And he was not very good at it, Chris.
Hey, was there ever an actor that you were kind of like nervous to meet or anything like that, or are you beyond all that?
Besides me?
Other than Ray, of course.
I was nervous when I met Paul McCartney.
That would make you nervous.
Yeah, George Harrison. I was nervous when I met George Harrison. The first real movie star I met was Gregory Peck.
That's pretty big.
I went to a premiere. I was invited to go with, what the hell was her name? I'm having like mental blocks here on people's names, but I went with Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster took me to my first Hollywood premiere, 1980.
Wow.
And I met Gregory Peck, and we went to see Blue Lagoon. I think it was Blue Lagoon was the movie.
Oh, that was Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields and Chris Atkins.
Right.
Yeah, and I met Brooke and everybody. I mean, that was like the first eye-opening Hollywood experience. That was like tremendous. It was on Sunset Boulevard at what's the big theater down there? They used to have a lot of premieres.
You're talking about the Grauman's, the Grauman's Theater, Chinese
No.
theater.
This was that's on Hollywood Boulevard. It was the one in Hollywood on Sunset for the east. It was the Pacific the Pacific, what was it, the Dome?
Okay.
The Pacific Ramadome or whatever.
Yeah. The Dome. Yeah.
You used to have that big parking lot.
Yes.
Giant. They set up the tents and it was fantastic. And I'm out there, and that's when I just met John Travolta. I got signed. By the way, Mickey Rourke. I knew Mickey very well. Mickey and I had the same managers.
Who's that?
It was Bob Lamont, the Lamont Zetter. Back in like the early '80s, Mickey was. That's where I met Mickey for the first time. It wasn't cool. Mickey has ripped jeans and smoked a cigarette. Yeah, Paul, I saw you in that movie. Yeah. I mean, he couldn't get a job at the time.
Right.
And then he exploded.
Yeah.
He exploded, man. And my father, by the way, used to come to town and hang out with Mickey.
Oh.
My father ended up having pancreatic cancer. And Mickey would, wherever I ran into Mickey around town, he'd get the phone. He'd tell one of his boys, give me the phone. He'd call my dad, speak to him. I always have a soft spot in my heart for Mickey.
Of course.
He was
very loving,
very sensitive.
Yeah, very loving.
Yeah, loving guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I only have a couple more questions, but I know you got to go probably. But was it hard to transition from actor to director like that? I mean, knowing what you want.
Not at all. It was hard to write, direct. And I should have put myself in that Club Soda, which was a great cast. I had Gandolfini, Joe Mantegna, Mike Rispoli. I don't know if you know Mike.
I know Michael Rispoli. I know he is. Yeah, of course.
Lou Gossett Jr.
Right.
I mean, it
I
was
worked with Lou.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I discovered Steve McQueen Jr.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was at a party in Hollywood.
Was you talking about Steve McQueen Jr. or Chad McQueen?
Well, it's Chad's son. It was
Chad's
son.
Oh, okay. Well, then he's not a junior.
And I was at a party, and I saw this good-looking kid across the room. I said, "That's the kid that played me. He's good-looking enough."
Of course.
And so I talked to him, and he was at ICM, and and I put him in a movie with all these guys. And it was a really great experience. Directing, I directed a few things, a couple commercials and a couple of music videos, but Club Soda was the movie that I directed, that I wrote. And I had just finished the screenplay finally, and then Jimmy passed away. We were going to do the movie. So unfortunately, that did not happen.
Did that hit you pretty hard?
Yeah, that was devastating. I was with him a week before. I was at dinner at his house out here. And he was going off. He was going to come and do Boston Children's Hospital for the Charlie Bubbles books. He was going to read to the kids, and then we were going to go Boston and do the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. And he said, "I got to go to Italy, and I'll be back in a week, and then we'll go do it." And that's what happened. I got the phone call. I had just texted him, actually. It was very odd. I texted him, and then my phone rang, and it was his wife telling me that he passed away in the hotel room in Italy. Shocking.
They're in Rome, right? He was in Rome?
Yes, in Rome. And his sister was, his son Michael was with him.
Yes,
and his sister was just arriving, so they couldn't get into it was horrible, Gee. I mean, listen, I got sober in 2002, so, we were friends from 92, all the way through, but, 10 years I hung around, we were together through the drinking, and then I had 10 years with him pretty much with the no drinking. So, I was, I got lucky because I got out of the whole thing of it, Very fortunate that I was blessed to get sober and remain sober. And that's where I am today, 17 years sober, boys.
There you go.
Congratulations.
That's the best thing about the best thing you've done. Best thing you've done.
Yes. Well, my best thing is I married.
Yes.
From Youngstown.
But you ain't marrying her. You ain't marrying her if you ain't sober. See, that's the point.
That's correct.
You ain't
no, she hasn't. Oh no. She can't even. She has a sip of wine and she's got to go to bed.
My brother Paul, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for spending some time with me.
Hey Ray, listen, I really appreciate having this opportunity.
I appreciate it.
I always love to be with you, as you know. We have a lot of laughs.
Yeah, we do. We do. We have a lot of laughs.
Will you come back on? Will you come back or come in when you come into town?
Oh yeah. Well, when I would imagine I'll be back in. John, where am I going?
Youngstown. Yeah, Johnstown. Oh, don't go there.
Why,
you
that's
ain't
better?
doing all right moves. Well, you've done that.
It's flood season.
You're doing something new now. You're doing something new.
Hey, listen. Yes. Well, when is that supposed to start, Ray?
Well, October 7th. Hey, Paul, I
That's
make
not-
no announcement
that's not
yet,
public,
man. We
Paul.
ain't make no announcement. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on. You're.
So listen, I'll tell you this because nobody knows what's
It's on
going on.
the okie doke, man. It's on the okie doke.
Hey, Ray, it's social media.
Yes, social media. You ain't lying.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
What happens?
Social media.
I will come. Well, listen, I'll tell you what. When I come back around October 7th, I'll come in and do the show if you guys are doing the show.
We would love that. Absolutely. It would be cool to meet you in person.
Yeah, I'd love to see you.
We have some great Greek food right down the street.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Listen, I only go to
What?
For
Greek snob. He's
Italian
Greek snob.
food. I don't go to Youngstown for Greek food.
No, we
They
got
have
Greek
it.
food.
We got it. We got a
I
big
got Mama Donna right there, trying to still make me like.
You know what? We got
lasagna.
Paul. We have a large Greek community. We have a large
Huge.
Colombian community. Most of the people there's a lot from Trumbull County, but ones that are from Youngstown, they're from Camel, where my wife's from, and they're from Calimos. So they're all Colombians.
Ooh, Calimos.
The Calimos,
See?
all the
Right next to
Colombians.
Vagabos.
And they go there every summer for the Calimos, the Canis, Cala, if is here, all that good stuff. I was there in 1988, and
how about Fernando's? Have you been?
He's
to
still there.
Fernando's over
He's
there?
still there.
Oh, you for that? For that, yeah.
He's literally still
Fernando's,
there.
Wedgwood,
who's Italian,
Right.
selling the set the cheese to you guys. Listen, guys, a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on.
My pleasure. I appreciate your insight. And,
I'm gonna take you out with a little. You can. I'm gonna play a little piano now.
Oh, this is nice. We haven't had this. Like, do we hang up?
Do I say something? Is that my walk-out music?
Is that it?
Is that my walk-out music? And that it, Paul? Did I say thank you, good night now? What?
Yeah, this is what you either give me the hook or I keep playing it.
All right, Brother Paul, thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. All right, man. My love to your wife.
Bye-bye.
My love to the wife. To my love. Okay. Woo, ladies and gentlemen. My brother Paul. Paul Carafotes.
That was like when, at the Academy Awards, when you talk too long, then they
start playing the music. You need to get that music played on you.
Talk it into the head.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Paul's a good actor, wonderful actor. And he's been, like I said, he did the first episode, the third episode of this new season of Mindhunter.
Well, have
Netflix.
you seen this show yet?
Yes.
Because I haven't seen it, but I'm hearing about it.
Yes, my friend
Everybody
Holt
loves
I did the first series, the first season.
Uh-huh.
Now this is the third. I didn't see it in the second. I got to admit. Because he texted me, he said, look, I'm in the first.
He's in the second, isn't he?
No, the first episode of the third season and the first and third episode of the.
Oh, I thought it was 2.1 and 2.3.
Is it?
I thought he was. That's what I thought.
Is this the second season or the first season?
I think it's just 1 and 2. I think that's all we've done.
Now you got me thinking.
Our two. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Okay, it's the second season. My bad. And you're right. And
but I'd like to see it. If people don't understand what the show is, it's about these FBI guys. This is a true story, right? It's from a book.
Holt McCallany, and I don't know who the other young actor is. But and they go chasing these.
They're FBI guys, and they're trying to get in the minds of serial killers. So they interview other serial killers.
So they could other cases. So they can
solve the cases.
Solve the case.
Yeah, before things get worse.
Solve the cases.
That's pretty cool. Oh, I didn't know that.
Listen, second season, episode 1 and 3. Thank you for listening, Paul. Thank you for
That's
listening.
what I thought, Paul.
Second season, episode 1 and 3.
Yeah, 2.1, 2.3.
2.1, yeah.
You got it.
And, all right, we're going to get it done.
I wonder if he's a serial killer.
Well, if you look at him, you have to
Is that right? It's not a stretch?
Oh, my brother Paul, man, he could act. He's a good actor, and man. But I loved it when you got the first thing he was talking about, the first episode when he played a dancer. Check that out on YouTube. What's the name of the movie again? Did he say? Can't think of the name.
No, before that.
It was
his very first movie.
Paul, text me that name of that movie.
Heading for Broadway.
He's doing a.
A good move.
Doing the moves.
Hey, at least he had some training.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yes, he did. The tights were a little too tight.
He went with tights.
Oh, he's wearing the tights.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's wearing the headband. He's doing it all.
That's good. I want to get his number. I want to text him funny stuff.
Text me, don't be an ass.
Too late. Too late. That ship sailed at 1:34.
But oh God. Anyhow, Paul,
that's cool.
Thank you for coming,
worked
brother.
With some of the biggest names.
Yeah, no, he's good. No,
there is. I mean, that's just
he's been around. He's been around them all. He's been around them all, of course. And it's just that's what I was talking about. The difference, the young lady last week. And I don't knock. I mean, God bless her. She's doing, and she's not bad. She's good. I saw her acting role. She's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But the social media, what it can do, and a guy like Paul has been, come grinding it out. He had, it's just he's working consistently. He's he's a wonderful actor, but it's the grind, man. It's the grind, and at some point you get from being the young, good-looking star who got to have the next, the boys, the star out who got to have that beautiful face to eventually you eventually become.
That's evolve into
that's
it.
The word.
Yeah.
Evolve into the
and that's
the
a
character
testament.
actor, which is what everybody wants.
And a lot of people don't do that.
No,
a lot of people do their
it.
thing and they're done.
And then there's
he's
guys like
evolved
Dustin
into directing and writing and
right. He's done it
again.
Yes, exactly. And that's how you got to constantly evolve in the business.
He's just reinventing himself.
Exactly. And that's why people like Dustin Hoffman, and Gene Hackman and
Pacino, those guys are still around.
Stars, but I mean, I'm talking about like Hackman and Hoffman and the other guy who played Tom Hagen in The Godfather. I'm trying to think of Robert Duvall.
Mm-hmm.
they became stars because of their acting, because they were character actors who became stars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard. A lot of guys who become stars to morph into the character. That's very difficult for some. Very difficult.
Right.
But those guys were character actors to start off, and they became stars because of their work, of course.
Right.
So
they don't get pegged in one role.
Paul's really made the transition very well. Very well.
He had some funny stories.
Oh yeah, he's good.
I think he's got a few more. He's probably got a couple more stories.
Yes. And I know Mike once asked you, who's the girls you slept with in Hollywood?
No.
You lying your ass up.
Just made
who
out
are the
with.
stars that you got? Who did you sleep
My
with?
question was going to be, do you
Who are
ever need like a local newscaster in any of your film? That's what I was trying
Yes.
to think. I'm
Yes.
a union member myself.
Lauren, are you available?
See, wait, I meant a male newscaster.
Oh, the male newscaster.
Right.
John, are you available?
No,
Mike, you the best. You be my guy, man. You be my guy.
I acted for years on TV.
You acted like a newscaster.
I know.
And he's
wasn't a newscaster.
What?
I'm a sportscaster.
Sportscaster.
Playing
That's same
a
thing.
newscaster.
You act like a sports announcer.
I was a great newscaster.
An
actor at the same time.
You know, it's like the old saying. People say to me, "Hey, you think can you act?" I said, "I don't know if I can act. I know I can act like I can act."
I'm acting right now.
That's an old saying, and Paul, you'll know that one.
Uh-huh.
It's an old saying. I know I can act like I can act, because that's basically it, man. You know, we're all actors of life, but can you act when it comes time to with the camera rolling?
I don't think I could do an audition.
It's almost humbling experience.
Or I don't think I could just meet a director somewhere and have to sell myself.
Yeah, well, you have to
Starbucks.
And you know how many times? Well, you do.
I don't know if I could do it.
Paul's sending me. Paul, you're
good thing it's you. He's a giant font,
now.
Paul. This is nice.
What was it? What do you got?
Just made it
Head
bigger.
for Broadway. All right, Paul, we got it.
He's got it.
You got that.
Heading for
We
Broadway.
can see this. Heading for Broadway.
Thank God for the internet.
Yeah. You can see that. Heading for Broadway. Oh, that's funny. With the big hair. Who else you do with?
Hey, Ray,
Yes.
show this
Right here on this camera. Hold it up to that.
Oh, this. What's what
Yeah,
camera?
right here.
Oh, this one.
There you
All right,
go.
let me go. That was Paul.
Now it's gonna be out of focus. Don't go too close.
Now it's going.
Help me, Paul.
Paul,
Paul,
we
you're
got
still
it for you,
affecting
bro.
the show.
We got it for you. Okay, anyhow. Woo, we're getting a little long in the tooth with this now. Anyhow. All right, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
wait, before we go.
Please do. Yes, we
Because I
got
know
us
you're gonna
our,
wrap it up. Want to say thanks to Sunrise Pizza, Sunrise
yes.
Inn.
We got to have our sponsors. We love you guys.
They have a contest. Do you know about this contest?
No, I don't.
Pizza for life. You win it, you get pizza for life.
What's the content?
Yeah,
How do
Lauren
you-
came up with it.
How do you,
I don't know how many
did
times
come up
you
with
get
it,
the
Lauren?
pizza. Is it once a week? Is it once a month?
Oh, man.
Is it
What is it? Once a month?
twice a month?
What?
For the rest of your life.
Wait.
Sunrise Pizza if you win the contest.
What do you got to do? What's the contest? What kind
We
of
got to go to seriously? WFMJ.com.
.com.
Is that true? Why are they a part of it?
Well,
We all work together. That's why.
oh, that's. You must have some bad
No,
feelings.
no, they still like me.
Did they let him
Sometimes
go? Did they let him go? Was it acrimonious?
I didn't burn any
Was it
bridge.
acrimonious split?
It was mutual.
Mutual
They were
split.
tired
I
of me.
hate you. You hate me. We
And I
hate each
love
other.
them.
That's a mutual thing.
But I didn't want to get up early anymore. So that was
Oh,
the
I
end of that.
get that. Jesus.
So now look at me.
Paul, you keep sending me texts. Now
How
you're starting.
well-rested I
Now
am.
you're starting to stalk me, Paul. Can't do that. Can't. Club Soda. I got it, bro. I got
Soda.
it. Club Soda.
Award winning.
Paul Carroll's
Short.
film.
How long's a short?
Club-
When somebody says I did a short.
It could be anywhere from 2 minutes to 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
It's short. That's what it's.
So it's like a little movie.
movie short, but sometimes even go 20 minutes.
Huh.
But it's usually not 10 minutes refrain. Club Soda. This Paul directed this film.
Mm-hmm.
Can they get it, Paul? Can you just say yes or no? Don't give me the whole thing. Can can they get it on online? Can you go to YouTube?
I'm sure.
Can you go to Amazon?
it's on there.
called Club Soda. It's
Which is what I would name
yeah.
my club.
James
if I started
Gandolfini, Lou Gossett Jr., Joey Montana.
Gossett.
Yes! He answered yes! Yes. Okay. Michael Rispoli. Yeah, you named all these people. Club Soda. There we go. 23 minute long. Oh, it's a short.
See, there you go.
There we go.
I didn't know. I had no idea what
Movie
a short
short.
was.
That's a movie
But
short.
if it goes like an hour, that's a movie.
That's
like a regular
no,
movie.
yeah, anything. Right. Movie
There you
short.
go. I want to know how cool. I wanted to ask him how cool it is to go to a red carpet premiere of your own work. Like, is there are you looking around to see if other people like it?
Yeah, of course.
Or
Of course.
is there a giant bash afterwards?
Yeah, I usually have a party, and then people tell you how wonderful it was. Oh, it was it was so pleasant. It was so meaningful. It was so raw. It was so, and it's all bullshit, of course.
Right.
They tell you, and they don't care. They just want to go for the whore's divorce.
Yeah. Oh, there's food there.
Oh,
it's not just popcorn at the movies.
No, you know, the
Whores the ovaries?
The whores divorce at the
Delish. Delish.
Anyhow, okay, I'm exhausted now.
All right.
Anyhow,
Did go a little bit longer than we thought. I hope he comes back. Can you seriously get him to come back?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Was
Paul,
it hard to get him on? Was
text
like
me,
pulling
you've been
teeth?
texting me like now you're stalking me. Paul, can you give me a yes on that one?
He says
can we get you back?
You know, he may come back here in the fall. Sounds like maybe for some
live.
family business.
Paul, we'll have you
or
on
something.
live.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Get the books on Charlie Bubbles' story. Tiny Bubbles. No, it's not Charlie Bubbles.
Did you know that Tiny Tim's daughter used to work here at the Avalon?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Lily, her
Talking
name's
about Bubbles?
Tulip. Her name's
talking
Tulip.
about Bubbles.
Tulip.
Tulip. I remember.
Yeah. Her name's
How long was
Tulip
she here
because
for?
you know tiptoe through the tulips.
That's.
She used to work.
Yes.
I just wondered if you knew.
I didn't know. I did not know that.
I did not know that.
Did.
Chris Meyer.
Chris, oh yeah. I did not know that. Yes, I can't do Chris again.
All right, we should probably. End it.
Anyhow, Chris, 23 Miles, Charlie Bubbles books. Get them on Amazon.com for your kids. No, really, if you got kids, the Charlie Bubbles books.
Well, it sounds like Charlie's growing up. I mean, if he's trying out for the major leagues,
well,
he's getting older.
No, Charlie's 12 years old.
No, I know, but in the book.
Oh, in the book, yes. Well, Charlie's, yeah.
He's getting older and older.
But there's a series. There's a series. Follow him as he gets older.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I'm waiting for the next text because he ain't let me off. Anyhow, no. Go to Amazon.com, Charlie Bubbles storybooks. And I
will.
And Paul's available for any birthday party, bat mitzvahs, anything else.
He'll read the books to you at the party.
Read the books and
He'll
read them
make
to
like
you.
a balloon animal. And then read the book.
And read the book, and he'll tape it. He'll film it.
So good. So good. And make it short.
Oh, Jesus, man. Yes. Acquire all your talents into one little package, Paul. Oh, God. I guess I'm exhausted.
I know.
Yeah. Attaboy.
We're really promoting the book.
Yeah, yes.
Who listens to the entire podcast?
Yeah, who
does anyone really get 2
people
hours
listen
or an hour and a half?
because we're funny.
Oh, that's why.
We're funny. We're entertaining. It's got to be entertaining.
Yeah, or ain't
It's
worth
thought-provoking. You're thinking to yourself, why am I watching this crap? No, you're thinking this was very educational, very inspirational, but more than anything, entertaining.
Right.
Got to be entertaining. All right. Until our next show next week at this same time, take care of each other, love each other. Good night, and God bless.